Joining us now is Mr. John Bolton, of course, Ambassador John Bolton. First of all, shalom and welcome.
Glad to be with you. Thanks for being here this evening.
So, an evening about the land of Israel, supporting the land of Israel. And you know, many people in Israel are looking at this new administration with hopes regarding the land of Israel. Are these hopes correct? Is there a reason to be hopeful?
Well, I think there'll be a dramatic change in the relations between the State of Israel and the United States. I think we're leaving an administration that's been the most opposed to Israel in its entire modern history. I think President-elect Trump has made it clear that he's a strong supporter of Israel, the rights of the Israeli people to their historic homeland. And one of the things that Americans do in the transition is plot the policies for the incoming administration. It's like a big effort to take over. So a lot of discussion about these things, but I don't think there's any doubt there's going to be an amazing transformation.
Now, do you think the reactions that this is a new administration that will allow us to build in Jerusalem, will allow us to build in Judea and Samaria, is that too early, or is that even, statements that are the right thing to say at this moment?
Yeah. Well, I know my strong view is that Jews ought to be able to build houses wherever they want to, including in all of the lands of Judea and Samaria, and we'll see what happens. President-elect Trump's been clear, for example, he wants to move the embassy to Jerusalem. I think that's something that we can look forward to, and I think trying to find a way for Israel to live in peace and security is going to be one of his highest priorities.
You know, there are a few fears in Israel that these days of the end of the Obama administration are days in which Obama might, bring something different. He'll want to have a change that people will remember. This is what President Obama did. The United Nations, for example. Do you think that is actually a fear that is a real fear?
Well, I'm very worried about it myself. I think his hostility to Israel could manifest itself in a lot of different ways. A Security Council resolution, General Assembly resolutions that recognize the existence of a Palestinian state, try and set the boundaries, all of which would be fundamentally contrary to American foreign policy on a bipartisan basis since 1967 in resolutions 242 and 338. And the fundamental reality that there will not be peace until Israel and its neighbors agree on terms acceptable to them. Imposing settlements from the outside has been contrary to our view for a long time, but I worry that Obama will try and change that. So I think it's very important here in the United States that people make it clear that they think that this kind of action would be unacceptable.
Would you, if anything, tell us about the option, the idea that you will become the Secretary of State?
Well, I'm sort of old school on these things, so I don't talk about it. Others do, but I don't. Look, I met with the President-elect on Friday, and it was a very serious meeting. And I think he's entitled to the time he needs to make this important decision, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you very much, Ambassador Bolton.